Welcome back to our third day in Iceland as we explore the island via the Ring Road. Today we are visiting some of the island's most famous waterfalls, venturing into old ruins, and hanging out with one of the world's largest puffin colonies. Join us in our 40th country for our year-long trip around the world. Yesterday, we spent a full day going to several hot springs, doing a hike, and also going to a gorgeous waterfall here on the southern coast of Iceland. We woke up early this morning, packed up our camp. We are already at our first waterfall for the day. I will put the name down here. It is so gorgeous. The parking lot takes you right up to it. Jordan's getting the parking ticket, and we're gonna go walk up and explore it. Morning, Jordan.
Oh, good morning. I think that was just $8 parking, which seems ridiculous.
$8?
Well, it was 900, so I guess closer to $650, but seems ridiculous for our 15 minutes here. I almost didn't pay it, but I was like, no, I should pay it.
How are you feeling day 3, Iceland?
Ooh. Day 3 of Iceland. Even though we only slept for about 5 hours last night, I'm feeling good. I'm ready to go. Even though we had a really busy day yesterday, it's like nothing compared to what we have planned for today because we have a lot planned today. We have a lot of waterfalls. We have like some old ruins. We have a beach. We have another beach. We have a cave. We have a lookout. We have a lot going on. Luckily though, we only have to drive like 90 kilometers today. Yesterday we drove a lot more, but today the driving is limited. So it's a lot more like doing stuff. So that's good.
All right, let's go see this first waterfall.
Such a short and easy path to a really great way to start your morning because there's really nothing to it. You just get out of your car, walk a few steps, and boom, here you are.
Here it is.
Idea to wear a raincoat out here.
Oh no, the camera's dripping wet. I'm literally soaked. I bought this rain jacket at a gift shop. I'm glad I did. Wow. How are you doing, Jordan?
Doing good. A little bit more wet now than it was before. It's like another somewhat sunny day, so from now on out we should dry up a little bit.
Hopefully.
So we just drove down the road just a little ways to get to this like really cool rock formation, and here at the rock formation there's like different houses built into the rock. So I read at one point that this is from the 9th century. I can't confirm that again, so I'm not sure if that's actually right. That seems really old, so I'm not like gonna put any money on that, but still. It's really cool just to see like the old structure built here, right up against this rock, just to provide a little bit of extra shelter for the people living here. My best guess is that the rock and the caves within the rock have been inhabited since the 9th century, or at least were inhabited in the 9th century. And then all these buildings that we see today are, you know, newer than that, but still quite old because, yeah, like I said, it's all just like rock and dirt, roof, and it looks really cool. Unfortunately, it's like really caving in, so you can't go in, or at least they tell you not to go in just because it could collapse at any time.
So we have made it to the most beautiful waterfall in Iceland, which is called Skógafoss. It's a quick walk out along the riverbed and just look how gorgeous it is. Such a big, powerful waterfall. There is a trail that goes up the right side of it up to, I believe, some more waterfalls. So there's a lot to check out here in this area. It also looks like it's a campground and a lot of people have spent the night here. So just such a gorgeous place. We're gonna try to get a little bit closer.
So we just got done at Skógafoss, and then right next to it is actually another waterfall. I don't think many people check it out. Most people just go to Skógafoss because that's the more popular one. However, this waterfall, Kvernufoss, you can actually go behind it, I believe, and it also looks really cool. And so since we're like right here, it's basically in the same parking lot. You just kind of move over just like a few minutes. We're gonna go to this one too, because when in Iceland, you go to as many waterfalls as you can.
Free shower. We've made it up to this waterfall. Absolutely stunning. We're kind of in a canyon little bowl here where the waterfall is coming down. There's so much mist, but it is such a pretty stop. Make sure that you don't miss this. When you stop by Skógafoss, make sure you come over to this one as well. So we are walking back to the Jeep. But between these two waterfalls, we decided we like this one more because there's almost no people here. It is so quiet and it looks so magical with all the seagulls around it and how it's like tucked back in the canyon.
You can also like walk behind it just to get like a completely different view of it, so that's really cool. And yeah, honestly, just not having as many crowds. We haven't found Iceland to be nearly as crowded as we thought it would be. However, Skógafoss was probably the most crowded place we've come across since getting here.
Next, we are headed over to the famous bomber crash site. So that's where we are headed to next. I think it's just a short drive away from here.
All right, before we head on over to the hike for the plane, we're gonna have a quick snack, a little bit of peanut butter bread and a banana. But is it just me or...
Stop, you're mean.
Yeah, I don't think it's just me.
Okay, yeah. My outfit today is giving banana, but absolutely love this yellow jacket I bought, so that's fine. I accept being a banana today. So we are officially on the walk out to the plane. It is about a 4-mile walk round trip. It turns out that there's a shuttle to get out there that you can pay for. 2,000 kronas per person per way, it looks like. So we are not going to do that. We are gonna walk it. The sign said it should take about 3 to 4 hours. However, we're hoping to get it done a little quicker than that since it's only 4 miles.
Yeah, definitely have to be walking pretty slow to take 3 to 4 hours to get 4 miles done.
It's pretty flat. We're just along the beach here. It's actually a really interesting story. So in 1973, a US plane called the DC crashed here. When he ran out of fuel, it turned out that he actually like flipped to the wrong fuel tank or something. Not quite sure what happened there, but they ran out of fuel and they crashed on this black beach here in southern Iceland, but everyone survived, so it was not tragic and it's still here today. I believe it was also used in like a Justin Bieber music video, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we're just walking out there now. It's flat, it's rocky, and yeah, that's about it.
47 minutes later, we have made it all the way out here to the plane. So we did it much quicker than what the sign said it was gonna take. I'm convinced they say it's gonna take that long just so you pay for the shuttle. The walk goes pretty fast because there's nothing really to look at. Like, everything is just straight rock. There's just rock after rock. Like there's no trees, there's no wildlife. It was kind of a boring 2-mile walk, but that's all right. The plain's pretty cool. We're gonna go start checking it out now.
Next, we walked back to our car, which was pretty long and boring, but when we finally got there, we continued down the coast until we came to a little picture spot that we stopped at. It's just a quick little hike to go up into the cave where you then get a very cool view. After that, we hiked back down and made ourselves a little lunch. Then we continued further down the coastline to some more black beaches, which were absolutely stunning, and where we came across a puffin colony, to our great surprise, right next to the path. Iceland is home to one of the largest puffin colonies in the world, with an estimated population of 8 to 10 million birds. Puffins in Iceland breed on coastal cliffs and offshore islands. They migrate to Iceland in late April or early May to breed and raise their chicks. They typically leave Iceland by the end of August and spend the winter at sea. Puffins in Iceland often nest in burrows dug into the soft soil or in the cliff crevices like we saw here at Dyrhólaey. They are known for their ability to dig burrows using their bills and feet. They primarily feed on small fish and are excellent divers and can plunge into the water from the air to catch their prey. Puffins are social birds and often gather in large colonies during the breeding season. While the puffin population in Iceland has been historically abundant, there are concerns about declining numbers in the population in recent years. Changes in sea temperatures and food availability are some of the factors contributing to these concerns. Puffins in Iceland are protected by law, and disturbing their nesting sites is strictly prohibited. We honestly could have stood on the path and watched them all day because they were so close to people. But it was time for us to continue on to our campsite for the night. We are now having our dinner at our camp. We continued on down the road to a nature preserve where we saw the beautiful coastline here in southern Iceland, and we also saw this amazing rock formation that kind of creates an arch. So that was super beautiful, and that's how we spent the rest of our afternoon before we drove into Vik, where we came to a campsite, we set up camp, and yeah, here we are now.
What's really nice about today is I feel like we did way more today than we did yesterday, but we got to camp like 5 hours earlier just because we only had to drive for an hour. So like everything that we did today was within an hour's drive of each other, so that was really nice, and that just allowed us to actually get here, set up a camp, and actually like kind of enjoy it and have just a little bit of a break. We are already exhausted just after the last 3 days, so it's nice to have just a little bit of time here. Last night when we got in at like 11 o'clock, so we didn't even set up anything. We just like threw up the tent and then went to bed because it was so late. But today we made some brats, we have our peppers, our ice is completely melted, so we're trying to eat up all of the food that needed to stay cold before we break into the rest of the food, but very delicious supper.
This campsite costs $15 per person, and we also paid to get some tokens so that we can use the shower facilities this evening. So it's a great place in Vik if you just want to pull up right next to the town and spend the night at a campground that actually has some nice facilities. Fingers crossed the showers will have hot water, because last night I took a shower in cold water. So we're just going to finish up our meal here and kind of relax this evening at the campground and probably go to bed really early so that we can get up for another full day, continuing along the island tomorrow. It's freezing. It has gotten significantly colder out here. I think it's going to get down to like 40 some degrees tonight. I have found 2 pairs of sweatpants, 2 pairs of socks, 2 sweatshirts. I've got a coat, a hat. Last night it got really cold. Fingers crossed tonight we do not freeze up there.
This evening we spent a couple hours in like a kitchen area where everyone was just cooking, but we were just like kind of charging all of our stuff because like everything is getting super dead because all we have to charge it off of is the Jeep as we're driving. And so when we walked back out, oh my gosh, it got so cold. The first night I was fairly warm sleeping. The second night it got colder, and now tonight's even colder than last night. So
tomorrow we're getting up at 5 a.m. so that we can hit the road because we have another packed day here in Iceland as we start to make our way up the east coast from the south. So it's going to be a really exciting day. Iceland's truly just an incredible country and it's such a great time today. So thank you so much, and we will see you in the next one.